Oh, man. What an aggravating morning so far. What's up? It's Victor Wilt. Hi. I am here. Jeez. So, normal morning. All right, so, well, it was a normal morning. Got going. Got lots of sleep. Was ready to head out the door a little bit early. And I can't find my keys. Like, okay. You only went so many places in the house yesterday. They've got to be somewhere. So I start checking all the usual spots. There's not very many of them. And they're just nowhere. I'm like, what is going on? So then, you start digging deeper. Go to every place in the house that I had been yesterday. Not a sign of them. Time's just flying by. I'm like, no, I don't want to be late. Finally decided to text Jade, let him know, well, I can't find my keys. Gonna be a little bit late. Texted my lady who likes to listen to the show. I'm gonna be late. I can't find my keys. So I keep looking. And, it almost got to the point I was going to call Josh at Classy and be like, dude, can you come get me? There are very few days that I regret that I don't have a spare key to my truck. I guess I need to get one. For days like today. It didn't come with a spare. So finally, I decide, all right, I'm going to go look around in the garage. Maybe they fell out of my pocket when I got out of the truck, or, I dropped them, which hitting the concrete floor, I would have heard it. I would have noticed. Don't see anything there. So I go look all around in the backyard, where I was watering some plants last night. Nothing. So I'm like, well, maybe I dropped them out front because there's a little flower pot out there. Go flying through the back garage door, and they're in the handle of the back garage door. Yeah, I had used them last night to go from the backyard to the front yard. Something I rarely do because the door, I usually go out through the house into the garage to deal with this. They're just hanging in there all night. And I even checked the front door handle to see if that's exactly what I had done. Didn't occur to me, maybe the back garage door. Absent-mindedly used the key to get in the garage and just left them there like an idiot. I thought the kitten had hid them. I thought that's for sure the only thing that could have happened was that they were on the floor and the kitten was like, these are fun. I'm going to hide them. So I was looking everywhere. Like, I got so much exercise this morning, running up and down all the stairs in my house, over and over, looking under every couch, every chair, every bed. Like, where did she hide them? And no, I hid them from myself because I'm an idiot. God. So anyway, I'm here now. Can't blame the cat for eating my homework. My own stupid fault. But, whew, I'm kind of awake. I worked up a sweat. Because I need my keys. I need my keys. For one, to be able to get anywhere. But, yeah, get into my office at work. Get things done in there. There's a lot that needs to be done around here. Oh. So anyway, I think it was just, yesterday, if not the day before? I was talking about idiots. Oh, I probably talk about them every day. But, yeah. Such a moron. Anyway, I'm here. We're doing the show. Good morning. It's officially begun now. So, yeah. Now, I can start digging for content for the radio show. All right, here we go. Well, Costco getting into the apocalypse game. I know we got a lot of folks around here who like to stockpile food, but it's so difficult, right? You got to like rotate it and things, and stuff gets all old. And if you're like me and you're paranoid about eating expired food, you're like, well, I know the internet says I could eat these canned goods for so many years past the expiration date, but I don't know. Look at the dates on there. Well, Costco is unleashing the emergency food bucket. $100 has 150 servings of a variety of meals, and it will last 25 years. So, yeah, my little apocalypse shelf that I put some cans of food on during the pandemic that are all, I don't even know what's in there now. I can get rid of that stuff and just get a bucket, one bucket. Put it in that, the shelf can go. Just a bucket of food. Yeah, but I'd have to go drop $100 on food that I'm not going to eat. Money's tight. Anyway, I'm just letting you know. I don't know if that's a good deal or not on a 25-year bucket. Because I, again, just stocked up on some canned goods and like dried beans, rice. And this sounds like it would have a lot of variety. Pasta Alfredo, mac and cheese, chicken noodle soup, cereal, whatever else. $100. Get them now before the next time people panic. And we have like a day where the water isn't working. And all of a sudden everyone, and they just go stock up on everything in the store. All right, anyway, just wanted to let you know in case you were unprepared for the apocalypse. Costco got your back. Got to pay that membership up front, though. That's another thing. I don't have a membership. So, Walmart got an apocalypse bucket. How much for the Walmart apocalypse bucket? I'll do some digging. I'll let those of you who don't have a membership to Costco like me know. Because I want you to be prepared. I mean, we're in an election year. People might be hunkering down in a few months. I swear we've done this story before, but I don't know. It's popping up everywhere. So let's talk about why you shouldn't dig in the sand. Yeah, you hear me worrying about what's going on in the water almost daily. People getting attacked by fish, sharks, seals, whatever else is swimming around in there. No, the sand. That's what you really need to worry about. Sand, deadlier than sharks. Kids are out at the beach. They're digging holes in the sand. Well, here's what happens. The sand collapses in. You don't need to worry about quicksand. No. You're just in a hole, and all of a sudden, the sand's all around you. And it can be very difficult to get people out. You apparently have about 3 to 5 minutes to save a person who is trapped in a sand hole before they just suffocate. So this article says you should never dig a sand hole more than 2 feet deep. I would imagine if you have small children, just don't even let them dig in the sand. You don't know what's in the sand. That's right, down with sand castles. I'm Victor Wilt. I'm here to ruin the beach for all. Sorry, little ones. Yeah, research shows more people die from sand suffocation than from shark attacks. Now, I don't think that necessarily means a lot of people die from sand suffocation, because I don't think a lot of people die from shark attacks. They tend to live and never go in the water again. Because, would you? If you got attacked by a shark, you ever going to go in the water again? Other people get attacked by sharks, and I refuse to go in the water again. So, now I'm not going to dig in the sand either. There's critters in the sand. Sand digging ain't my thing, all right? So, we got somebody calling. Are they pro digging in the sand? K-Bear, you're live on the show. Keep that in mind. Who's this?
This is Quentin.
Clinton, what's on your mind?
Just another point about sand. You know, the white sandy beaches that everybody loves to go in the tropical places.
Mm-hmm.
It is made mostly of fish poop.
Made mostly of fish poop?
Yep. The white sandy beaches is fish poop.
Hold on, I got to look this up. White sandy beaches, fish poop. Yeah, just rubbing your toes through the sand. Yeah, you're right. The famous white sand beaches of Hawaii, for example, actually come from the poop of parrotfish. Gross. That's nasty. Yeah, the fish bite and scrape algae off of rocks and dead coral with their parrot-like beaks, grind it all up, and then it comes out as sand. So it's poo sand.
Yeah.
All right. We're heading on a nice tropical vacation to Hawaii. Oh, grody. Well, thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you, man. You have a good one.
Yeah.
Another reason right there. Stay out of the sand. Gross. Boy, there's nothing more I like than seeing politicians put on a big show when they're doing a whole lot of nothing. I try to avoid politics, but sometimes I see articles that are so dumb. Got to bring them up. They recently passed a bill to ban non-citizens from voting in federal elections. Now, hold on here before you go, Victor's saying we should let everyone... No, it's already illegal to vote if you're not a citizen. And if you look into this, there is not any proof that a bunch of, people who aren't from America are voting in our elections. When's the last time you walked in to vote and they didn't check your ID? I vote in every election, national or local. And to register to vote, you have to prove that you live here. You have to have a federal ID. You need proof of residency, blah, 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 blah. What is this grandstanding about? It's just dumb. Hey, when Lieutenant Crane gets in tomorrow, I'm going to give him some ideas to pass on to our state legislators. We should create some laws. Yeah, let's make certain things illegal, like theft and violence. Oh yeah, wait. That's already done too. Crime is illegal. But it wouldn't surprise me to see a politician passing a law. Hey, we should require seatbelts like we already do. But some people don't wear them, so we need to pass a new law. What is this? That's one thing that I've pointed out time and time again. That there's all this grandstanding about things that never happen. Like yesterday we talked a bit about firearms. I used to sell firearms and how difficult it was to get licensed to do so. All the hoops I had to jump through, crazy background checks, things like that. And when I was, selling firearms, I had to run people through a federal system, But you'll still hear all... anyway. Should I even take a call on this? Probably not, but I'm gonna. All right, K-Bear, you're live on the show. Keep that in mind. Who's this?
Hey, it's Brian. So, a lot of what you can attribute to grandstanding, you can back it up by just following the House bills. And so that's one of the best ways to show somebody that they're voting against their own interests. So, like House Bill 7688, it was just to reduce the gas prices about a year ago. And there's one party that complains about the cost of living more than the other when it comes to like who was in control and whatnot. But House Bill 7688 was voted against by pretty much everybody that votes like Idaho, I guess you could say, and voted in favor almost unanimously by the people that don't vote like Idaho. So there's a lot of groups that vote against their own interests. So the group that votes like Idaho, they voted unanimously against expanding veterans assistance, right? While claiming that they care the most about veterans. And so the group of people that votes or unlike what Idahoans usually vote, they voted unanimously for the House bill that expands veterans assistance. And so it's kind of an oxymoron, but at the same time, you can just show people the House bill, that just passed and say, hey, and, you can screenshot it. You can say, hey, look, every person that you think voted, because I got friends that are veterans, every person that you think voted for this bill actually voted against it. And every person that you think voted against this bill voted for it. And that it kind of forces them to admit that they're voting against their own interests. So I'm sorry for the rant, but it's a really simple way to, show people that, hey, you're literally voting against yourself. If you're a veteran and you vote like Idaho normally votes, you're voting against your best interest. Whether you believe it or like it or not, that is a fact. So anyway, sorry for the rant.
I appreciate you approaching the topic in a calm manner. Because it's tough to talk anything relating to politics around here because people get so riled up about things they see online that there's no proof to back, like that. People who don't live in America are swaying our elections and voting. There's just no proof of it, and it makes me just kind of crazy because people don't. Like you said, that's why I always encourage people to look into what these politicians actually do and vote for rather than voting based on emotional issues, or hot button topics like the guns thing. I've heard since I was a kid, they're going to take away all our guns. Well, we have more gun rights in Idaho than we've ever had in history. So, and that's just within the last few years. So I don't think we need to worry about that, especially here. But that's the kind of issue that people will, they'll make it a one issue vote rather than taking a look at, what people actually do when they get in these positions. So.
Yeah. So all right. Here's another example. I don't know how much time you have.
Well, and I don't want to get too deep into these kind of things because people get mad at me and they call and yell at me when I'm just trying to encourage them to, just think a little deeper about. Like you said, voting in your own best interest.
Yeah, so real quick, the last time Americans lost the most gun rights was in 1986 during the Reagan administration, which, Reagan was a Republican. So he removed the right to fully automatic weapons and all that good stuff. Anyway, the last time that happened, that was 1986. The most recent time that Americans have lost the most gun rights was in our previous presidential cycle during the Orange Man. And we just regained the rights that we lost for those bump stocks back during the Biden administration. So
that's true.
Factually speaking, Republicans take away more gun rights and Democrats give them back. It doesn't make sense.
Now, listen, people, this is a caller just, letting his thoughts out.
Sorry.
Don't call and yell at me. Don't call and yell at me.
But it's an oxymoron. It doesn't make sense.
Well, that's, again, there's people, especially thanks to one of the things I complain about most, the national 24-hour news channels, and it's all of them. It's, it's CNN, it's Fox. They present information in a way to keep people riled up and clicking and tuning in rather than just, laying down facts. It's in their own best interest to keep people tuned in and worked up so they can make money off advertising. And so that's why the news is so slanted on both sides. That rather than just giving us some facts and trying to keep people informed, they want to keep people angry. So
that is correct. Anyway, I appreciate you letting me rant.
No problem. Hopefully we didn't open Pandora's box here and the show goes completely out of control.
Yeah, sorry.
It's
anyway,
okay.
Hail Hydra.
Thanks, man. Anyway, I just, the whole point I was trying to make at the beginning is political grandstanding. It drives me nuts. If our politicians are going to do something, then they do something. Do something. Don't come out and act like you're doing something that's already been done. Anyway, we'll get back to talking about Florida Man in a minute, okay? We'll talk all the stupid news and that stuff. We'll move on. All right, somebody on Reddit asked, what's a bad thing everyone should experience at least once? Boy, this could be fun and cheery. Let's dig in. Number one answer, retail job. And I totally agree. I also think everybody should have to work a fast food job at some point. Because I don't see a lot of empathy for people working in retail and fast food or any type of dining experience situation. These jobs are go, 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 non-stop. And customers treat people in these positions horribly sometimes. These are not easy jobs, all right? Maybe the tasks themselves, you're not doing brain surgery, but they're stressful, and you're on your feet, and it's busy work, and it's exhausting. So be nice to your retail workers. Be nice to your fast food workers. I think anybody who's worked any of these jobs is going to naturally have a little bit more empathy toward people in those positions. So I think I'd agree with that. Everybody should have to work one of those types of jobs. What else is a bad thing everyone should experience at least once? The bitter taste of defeat. Yeah, it sucks. But you grow from it. Isn't that what they say? There's some type of a bumper sticker slogan I'm looking for here. But yeah, I think to truly appreciate winning, gotta go through a bunch of defeat. Trust me on that. I've been beaten down many a time, but it makes the good times all the more better. Heartbreak. Oh, it teaches a lot. Well, you can learn from it. But man, it's not pleasant, is it? Now, that has to be something that everyone does experience, right? Kind of like the bitter taste of defeat. Everybody is going to experience that at least once. So I don't know. I think this list should be bad things that maybe you could avoid experiencing. You're going to deal with some heartbreak in life. And again, it sucks, but then when you turn it around, it just makes the good all that much better. All right. And then again, with people on Reddit not knowing how to do a search before posting the same answer. Somebody else talking about working in the service industry. And then we got failure, which I'd say is the same as defeat. Then loss and failure. People, stop upvoting things that have already been posted. Yeah, I'll complain about Facebook plenty. Reddit users can be just as dumb, all right? An empty pocket. Does that mean like no money? I don't... Well, maybe everybody should experience that because I think it would give you more empathy toward people who are struggling. As someone who lived on ramen for a long time, I can tell you, I've got a lot of empathy for people who are struggling to get by. A lot of times, people end up in situations out of their control. And sadly, you see a lot of people, that might kind of look down on people who get in these kind of bad situations. Try to think about things from others' perspectives at times. Got a caller here. K-Bear, you're live on the show. Keep that in mind. Who's this?
Hey, it's Zach. How's it going?
Zach, I'm doing well. You got something bad that everyone should experience at least once?
Oh, so it's bad but good. I'd have to say the military.
The military. All right. Now,
Yeah, we should take a page out of South Korea's book and mandatorily do 2 years of service.
Now, like as someone who has not been in the military, I've talked about this before, but I went to this Marine Corps Educators Workshop and spent a week in San Diego with the Marines. And going in, I didn't know much about the process that recruits go through. And I got to see everything kind of from beginning to end to, the graduation. And it totally blew my mind. And also,
So I'd say the Marines is a special case. They're a different beast.
it was something else, man. And it definitely gave me a very different perspective on all of our armed forces, because we also met with folks from the Navy and the Army. But I don't think a lot of people have a true understanding of what recruits go through, when joining the military. And I mean, that's even aside from if you get shipped off on actual duty. I mean, just the process of making it through training and things like that. It's wild, man. It's really crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of good experiences and a lot of poopy ones.
Thank you for censoring yourself, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on, man. Well, I appreciate the call today. And yeah, definitely. I mean, even if you don't join, I think sitting back and watching like some documentaries or taking the time to talk to people who have worked in any area of our military give you a very different perspective on how things work.
Oh, yeah.
Right on, man.
All righty.
Hope you have a
good
great
day.
Yeah, you as well. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
Bye. Freak News is powered by Grease Monkey, voted Idaho's best oil change. All right, headed to Eugene, Oregon. We're going to talk Legos on the black market. A lot of money to be made, apparently, if you have thieves stealing Legos from Target and Fred Meyer and Walmart and then selling them to you so you can resell them. This guy got busted with, 4,153 stolen Lego sets. And those were valued at over $200,000. All right, let me bust out the old calculator here. Should have done the math before jumping on air. 200,000 divided by, what'd I say, 4,153? Be funny if I actually remembered that number. Be kind of mind-blowing. It was right. 4,153. So they're about $50 a pop. $50 on average for a box of Legos. Maybe what we need to do is lower the price of Legos so they're not the type of item people would want to, boost and then sell on the black market. Speaking of boosting things, there was this guy. He got busted with a bunch of stolen credit cards. And he had a to-do list in his pocket. If you're a criminal, you should probably not keep a to-do list in your pocket that also notes that you intend on stealing things. Hi, Jade Davis.
How else are they going to remember what they're going to do?
Well, as a forgetful person, Jade, I do use a lot of Post-it notes and notepads, but all of my tasks are given to me by you, so that they're okay to be on a notepad. They're not ending with boost Legos or something like that, to make some money. Because money was step 3. Get money.
I got a new task for you today.
No! I've been trying to knock down tasks this week. I've been mowing through tasks. Listening to all Peach's songs and blah, blah, blah. I'm very busy.
Me
very
too.
busy. I know you're usually busy. Yeah. All right, what else do we got for a little bit of freak news powered by Grease Monkey? Well, a guy tried to bring some replica grenades on an airplane.
Did you see the guy that just tried to sneak in, 100 snakes in his pants through the...
I did.
I got a snake.
I got a snake, man. Oh, yeah, that story made me very uncomfortable. I talked about it yesterday because I don't like snakes. So the thought
You don't like anything. If it doesn't involve your couch and maybe a video game controller.
That's not true. I like kittens. They're fluffy and nice.
Snakes are cooler than cats.
No, they're not.
Oh, yeah, they are way cooler.
They're scarier looking. They're creepy. They're weird. But cooler?
The only time I don't like snakes is when I'm on top of a mountain and it's a rattlesnake 1 foot away from my face.
Yeah, see, I'm surprised after your little incident there that you're praising snakes. I saw you after that.
I just didn't like that snake.
You were
at that moment.
And for a while after. You were a little shook up by that. As I would have been. I would have been horrified. That's very far away from the antivenom. Do you guys stock it up there?
No.
You probably should. One of these days, poor Gavin, gonna take a snake bite to the leg, be flying the East Idaho News helicopter up to save him.
Better in the face.
Oh,
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of arteries in the leg.
Yeah, it reminded me of that Rexburg snake house. I started thinking about all these horrible snake stories after that snake in the pants thing. Why? I mean, I'm sure it was back to need money. Boost snakes. Sell. All right, everybody. Freak News, powered by Grease Monkey, voted Idaho's best oil change.
What up?
Just waiting
You
to
got
see
something to talk about?
what other tasks you wanted to give me. I have a really funny story in front of me, but I forgot that I should have closed the tab because we can't talk about it. It's one of these like perfect for Freak News stories. Read this headline, Jade. Any way you can think of to work around that one? Usually we can figure it out. But there's a lot going on in that one.
There is a lot going on. You don't even need to read the
story.
The story.
No. And reading the headline would be pretty fun. It's from the news. It'd be pretty funny, but I don't know if I should say that. You're the one in charge. Is that an appropriate sentence?
Well, it involves a bulldozer.
Okay, there was a woman who was under a bulldozer doing a ritual of some sort that involved something dirty. And she couldn't stay clean. I don't.
A ritual dedicated to the
dark forces.
The dark forces. Surrounded by more dark forces.
Like really dark and smelly forces.
Yes.
And
under a bulldozer.
And she couldn't stay clean.
Weird. She's surrounded by double dark forces.
All right, let's see if we can work through the actual article here. A familiar face on these pages has been busy, and so has the National Desk, finding 7 new police reports on him in less than the past 4 months. Michael Tizzetto charged with 2 counts of possession of a stolen shopping cart.
What does this have to do with the headline? What's going on here?
I don't know, because it said that it was a woman.
Helped woman
performing ritual in
darkness
under a bulldozer, but
dedicated to
clean
darkness.
Okay, so are they just laying down his entire rap sheet here? Let's go further down and see if we can find out. All right, there was a woman who was arrested at a Dollar General store, and this guy was trying to pull, I guess. Okay, she had been arrested for theft, and this guy helped them pull her out from under the bulldozer while she was
bathing in something
gross.
It's not going to make you clean.
No.
That's an oxymoron right there with the word bathing.
Yeah, you can't bathe.
This is the dirtiest you could ever get, trying to get clean in that substance.
And performing a ritual. Now,
to the Dark Lord.
I guess this guy, they kept asking him to leave, and so they ended up arresting him as well, since they found him with 2 meth pipes at the same time. Wait, is this Florida? Where is this? It is Florida.
Wow. This one's right up there with the topper where the guy was at the back end of the convenience store selling golden tickets to go see Jesus or something. You remember that story?
I do remember that one. Oh, and the thing with these Florida stories is I know these things are happening everywhere.
Oh, yeah. They just have better reporting or more access to police reports.
I used to read the Cassia County reports in the Times News in Twin Falls, and they would talk about the crazy things that happened in Burley, and it was amazing.
Was it
was like Florida Man. It was Burley Man, and then they just stopped printing it after a while. I think the city of Burley didn't want everyone to realize what a crazy dumpster fire that town is, and they stopped allowing, like, the police stopped sending their reports.
Florida's just proud of their dumpster fire.
Yeah, I need to talk to Lieutenant Crane about this. You know, we got East Idaho News down the hall. They should be getting just
step up their game.
Yeah. What you doing, Nate? Come on, bro. You need to start talking to the cops more. I know we've
Stop flying around in helicopters. Go find people under bulldozers.
All right, we got stories that bite. A number of bite-related stories in the news today. Got a Florida teen bitten by a shark during a lifeguard training camp. I mean, I think that's pretty good training, right? Going to be a lifeguard on the beach in Florida. Part of what you may have to deal with is sharks, all right? We talk about fish biting people often enough. Yeah, I'd say that's good practice. He's all right. Just had to get some stitches. And apparently, sharks are biting people a lot at this particular beach. So, just a reminder, if you're going to go in natural waters, all right, more power to you. Never again. Never again. And in other bite-related news, and Florida, of course, a flight that took off from South Florida had to make an emergency landing after a passenger bit a flight attendant and screamed profanities at other passengers. They were headed to New Jersey, and apparently this woman just started losing her mind. So flight attendants tried to calm her down. That didn't work, so they zip-tied her. I guess that's what they do if you're out of control on an airplane. So she bit him. Arr! Arr! Ripped off a piece of his uniform. And then I can't tell you what she started saying to people because of the profanity, but she had a lot to say to the other passengers on the flight. And then she accused the flight crew of having attitude problems. You know, if you're currently zip-tied, biting people and screaming profanities, I don't think anyone is going to buy your suggestion that the people around you have an attitude problem. Screaming profanity while zip-tied and biting people sounds to me like you might have an attitude problem, but what do I know? What do I know? This is, Florida air travel, and I've never been there. Could be the norm. Let's talk about the boomers. There's a subreddit called Boomers Being Fools, and I'll admit I read through it from time to time because it generally makes me laugh. Tends to be a collection of stories of people getting extremely upset in situations where they don't need to. Just making themselves mad, which it's a new pastime. You can look at social media and find examples of people just making themselves mad or getting fired up because they saw somebody else post something and, hey, yeah, they're mad. I think I'll be mad too. Like self-checkout we've talked about many a time. If you don't want to, don't do it. The end. But I love self-checkout because I get in and out of the store fast. Anyway, for example, here's one of the stories I read on this page today. All right, let's see. I've been lurking around here for a while and laughing at the post thinking it can't be that bad. Karma proved me wrong. I accompanied my friend to some appointments he had because they're in a city I don't get to much. Anyway, there I am minding my own business, surfing on my phone. Boomer walks up to desk, loudly announced his info, and takes a seat right across from me. I glanced up and smiled because it's polite. Then I go back to my phone. He then just loudly starts explaining, that's what I hate about you young people nowadays. And I was confused. Sorry, what do you mean? And he points at my phone. Everyone's on those things now. No one talks to anyone anymore. I was like, well, I don't generally talk to strangers, but everyone's on those things. And he's like, well, I'm the only one here. Exactly. We should be talking. You shouldn't have to talk to people just because they want to talk to you. Speaking of that, what do you want, Peaches? Why are you coming in to bother me?
I came in to grab something. My bad.
Oh, it's okay. I was just giving you grief. I was just talking about boomers being fools.
Oh, yeah. That's a great subreddit
It's a great
right there.
subreddit.
Why don't you start that one?
Why didn't I start that one?
Yeah, boomers being fools.
Maybe I did start it. Maybe I'm to blame.
Oh, is that actually real?
Yeah, it's a real subreddit.
Oh, I thought you just said that phrase. I'm like, that sounds like a subreddit.
Yeah, no, it's legit. You'd like it. No,
How about Boomer Beatdown? We just watch boomer fights at the grocery store.
I don't know if there's enough of them for a full subreddit. But here, I'm just giving people examples of boomers getting mad when they don't need to. Because nowadays, people get themselves all riled up over, like, the dumbest little things and just find reasons sometimes to make themselves upset.
That's not me.
That's not Peaches ever. So I don't know what podcast this is from, but this is a boomer on a podcast.
Oh, okay.
So I'm driving through town, and I see this young man putting trash in the trash can sitting out in the driveway. And so a thought came to me. I watched him close the lid, grab a hold of the trash can, and my thought was, he was thinking, why am I doing this? Well, my thought was, I wanted to stop and say, because you live there, you're still in school, this is a chore. So it's not going to hurt you to do it. You know, suck it up, buttercup, and let's do it.
Oh.
It'll be okay.
Did he stop you and say that? Did he say, why am I doing this?
No, I just assumed
imagined that.
Yeah, I just imagined he was saying that. Why
You created that in your head.
I sure did.
So you just imagine the whole thing.
He's just driving down the road, sees some kid dealing with his trash, and he probably doesn't want to do those chores. Lazy kids. Yeah, boomers being fools, Peaches. I know you'd enjoy this subreddit.
I do love those videos of boomers dancing, and it says, like, when you buy your house for 2 raspberries back in 1945.
Yeah, I read through one earlier where this girl had gotten in a car accident, and so her mom was like, well, you know, you get your insurance money and we'll go get you a new car. And she's like, well, I can't afford to get a car from the insurance payout. And the mom's like, what are you talking about? And she goes and supposedly finds her this Toyota RAV4 with like 35,000 miles. She's like, this is only $4,000. And the girl's like, there's no way. That's not how used vehicle pricing is working right now. There's no way.
Right.
And so she, the mom starts fighting with her about it, takes her down to the dealership, and who knows what the mom was looking at, but no, this was like a $16,000 vehicle.
I was going to say a $4,000 vehicle is not going to get you anything.
No!
I mean, it's going to get you to point A to point B, but if you want to drive from like Idaho Falls to Pocatello, good luck.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what we had to pay for my daughter's car. You know, we found her a car with like 140,000 miles or something.
Jeez.
It's it's a Toyota something or other.
Hey, Toyota's a reliable brand for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I love Toyota. That's, my rock warrior out there. It's a Tundra. But my daughter's car that we bought, a year or two ago, I want to say it was like $6,000 or $7,000. And it wasn't like a nice car.
No, I saw it.
The little blue one?
It was parked here before because you drove it.
Yeah, I drove it to work a few times. I mean, it gets you where you need to go and things like that, but it's an older vehicle and it's nothing fancy. Used vehicles are crazy. There's a reason I don't have a car. Like, if there was a Toyota RAV4 for $4,000, I would totally go buy it. Except RAV4 probably doesn't get great gas mileage. It's more like a little SUV. But if I could find a car like a Toyota, whatever their low end, Corolla? Is that the low end?
I think so.
If I could find one of those with 35,000 miles for $4,000, I would buy it in a second to save the gas money, because that wouldn't be a very bad monthly payment.
I mean, you could find one for that much money, like on Facebook Marketplace, but then
it's going to have problems.
There'll be funky smells. There'll be tons of problems. The engine will be missing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even look at used car pricing because I know I can't afford one.
And there's no point in buying used anymore. I'm going to go against Dave Ramsey right now and say you might as well buy new because the used prices are so high.
Yeah, and sometimes you can find new vehicles with like 0% interest.
Mm-hmm.
So might as well at that. And it probably has a warranty and things like that. Used vehicle. I've seen a lot of people buy a used vehicle and you get stuck with a lemon. I'm very
lemon.
A lemon.
That's a boomer term right there.
That's right.
You're stuck with a lemon.
What are we going to, for now, should we change the term for something that's just lousy? You know, it's a dud.
To jade.
I was thinking we go with a different fruit.
Oh, no, let's go jade. Let's go jade.
You know? Hey, reminder, everybody talking about the presidential election, but you got to remember to make sure you're voting in our local elections as well. A lot of important stuff every time that we've got a local election going on. Boy, was that an intelligent statement on my behalf, was it not? It's important. You should vote. I just read that the Idaho Open Primaries Initiative has qualified to be on the November ballot. So this is great news. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but what this is basically is, how when we have our primary elections, you got to be a member of a particular party to vote in the primary. You got to be registered as one. What this would do is make the primaries all open. Just a nonpartisan primary election. Everyone in the state can get out and vote, and the top 4 candidates move on to the general election, no matter what party they're from. Giving us all a better chance at having our vote count, as far as I can tell. I mean, obviously, you've heard me complain about the fact that, the primary election is the real election in most areas of the state. Because we pretty much know how the voting's going to go in the general election, all right? In Idaho, we know which side generally wins. So I think this would make things a lot more open, give a lot more people the opportunity to have their voice heard. But ain't up to me. But it will be on the ballot in November, which I think is pretty cool. Pretty cool that they got enough support for this. It's been talked about for a really long time. And yeah, that'll be on the ballot November 24th. So just an issue to look into, see what you think about it. To me, anything we can do to make voting more encouraging to all, I think is good. Because I think there can be a lot of people who feel a bit disenfranchised when it comes to, their vote being heard if they're not voting in particular primaries. Make it all just one big open thing. I think it, personally, sounds like a good idea from what I understand about it. Need to do more reading. But, yeah, cool to see that made it onto the old ballot for November. So, just wanted to remind you, vote in our local elections. Idaho's a small state. We don't have a lot of impact when it comes to national elections. But in local elections, your vote's very important. So, make sure to get out and do so. Now, the problem I'm going to talk about seems to just be happening at one particular national park, but I think anywhere you're in the great outdoors, you need to pack it in, pack it out. Whatever you're bringing in, you got to take it with you when you leave. And apparently at Yosemite, people are packing in toilet paper, and they're using it, and then they just leave it on the ground. And people walking trails are discovering, well, I guess it's sort of natural, but, it's not what you want to encounter on the trail, all right? Y'all be gross. And I know it might seem a little bit unnerving to, pack that out with you. But you do it for your dog, right? If you take your dog for a walk, yeah, bring the little bag with you. Do they need to start putting those bags all along trails in our national parks? And make it clear they're for people and dogs? Nasty, nasty. And of course the newspaper article, well, I guess it's a newspaper. The news article, it's like, look at this picture. Nobody wants to see that, all right? You can just tell us what's going on. We don't need visual proof. All right, we can take your word for it. People are gross. Yeah, if you're visiting Yellowstone, please take that filth with you when you leave. Disgusting. I think there should have to be a minimum number of dates before a band can call something a tour. How many dates should that be? 10? I think 10 before it's a tour. If you're doing 5 dates, you're just doing some shows. That's what I say. I brought that up because Tenacious D launched their Rock D Vote tour, where they're going to be out playing like 5 shows. And they're all, Midwest swing state shows. That ain't a tour. That's doing some shows in some swing states. Come on, let's bring the D over here. That's what I want to see. Tenacious D at the Hero Arena. How would that be? It'd be amazing. But I am a pretty big Tenacious D fan. Thankfully, we've got other shows coming, like Monday night. Oh, Primus and Coheed and Cambria. People buy up all of those $25 tickets yet? I keep letting you people know about these deals I find. And then I go check and there's still some available. Let's see what we got. Oh, yeah, there's still some $25 tickets. An unbeatable value to see a band like Primus, one of the greatest live bands of all time. Like, even if you don't like Primus, I'm telling you should go to the show. You will have your mind blown. I got my daughter tickets to the Maynard birthday party show, which happened in Phoenix. I went and saw it in Salt Lake, but Primus was on the bill. She said her favorite part of the show was Primus. And she wasn't even into Primus. Now she's a super fan. Ain't nothing like seeing Les Claypool slay down a bass live. I mean, this is going to be a show with great musicianship. Like, if you missed out on that Death Clock show, which was another just superstar showcase of musicianship, I'm telling you, go out and get your mind blown by Primus. Like, I wouldn't miss this show for anything. Well, maybe for something. But Primus is just so good that I cannot fathom not going to the show. Now, I'm a big Primus fan, so you might not get it. You might be like, I can't stand Primus. I want to be a fisherman. What is this? Tommy the Cat is my name. What are you talking about? Just trust me on this. This show will be incredible. And that's only one of the many awesome shows coming to the region. If you want to check out all the shows, riverbendmediagroup.com. We got a great event calendar on there, where not only now can you see all the rock and metal shows, but you can check out shows of all different genres. So if you have family members who are into terrible music, you can find out about shows they might want to go to. So you can be like, all right, I'll take you to that awful show, but you got to come with me to Primus. And then you can shift their musical taste, because I guarantee Primus will rip their brain apart. There's no coming back once you've gone to a show. Oh, I cannot wait. I should have taken Tuesday off, though. Every time there's a show locally, I'm like, well, I don't have to drive 2 hours home. I'll be happy to go to the morning show. No, I'm not going to be happy coming into the morning show Tuesday, because I'm going to stay till the very end of the show. That could be like 11 p.m. Oh, maybe I should just take Tuesday off. Maybe I should. I'll think about it. The problem is I've only got so much PTO. Ugh. Anyway, that's happening. Just a reminder. Peaches.
What?
Would you live in a haunted house?
No.
No?
I'm afraid of ghosts.
You're afraid of ghosts? Really?
I don't want to have this nuisance where all of a sudden, my things start going everywhere. It's like the lights turn on and off. Ooh. Stop bothering me.
I would think if you could get it for a bargain price, it would be worth taking the cut to get a haunted house. But I've never seen a ghost, so I ain't worried about it.
It depends on what type of haunted. I don't want to sound like one of those to peach their own answers, but it does depend. If you're talking about like the demons or whatever, and they start scratching you, that's a whole different story compared to like some woman walking around the building.
Okay. Have you heard of the LaLaurie Mansion in New Orleans?
Sounds old. No, I haven't.
It is old. It's a pretty legendary building. It's in the French Quarter. The building even appears in Red Dead Redemption Part 2.
Oh, is it the plantation?
No, it's not the plantation house. This is what it looks like.
Let me see.
You've probably seen it before.
Oh, okay. So that's in the Saint Denis?
In Saint Denis in Red Dead.
Yeah, okay.
So this place is for sale right now in New Orleans, for the bargain price of $10.2 million.
I was going to say it looks expensive.
It does look very expensive. Now, I actually listened to an episode of the last podcast in the left about Madame LaLaurie and all these, horrific things that may or may not have happened in this place back in the 1800s. Supposed to be one of the most haunted places in America. And they've fixed it up quite snazzy. I gotta say, it does not look creepy at all in there. It looks like somewhere where someone very wealthy would live. But I like the decorating scheme they've got going on. We got some walls painted, black and white like my bedroom.
Oh,
we got
cool.
some walls painted red.
Nice.
It's very cool, but I don't know. I've never been to that city, so I don't know if I had a spare $10 million, if I would splurge on this place. Plus, it's right in the area of town that is the tourist section of town. So there's always going to be people outside your house.
What we got to do is we got to go on a trip to California, go to a bunch of different haunted places during the month of October.
Now, in California, I'm getting a call from Lou Brutus on my cell phone. I'll have to call him back. He may be calling me to chat about the Ice Nine Kills in This Moment show.
If he shows up, I'll have to shake his hand.
He told me he was wanting to come out for it.
Okay.
So, I'm working on it. I'm working on trying to get Lou out here. He hasn't been out here in many years.
Right.
And he's a very fun guy to hang out with. I know the K-Bear Army would be very excited to hear him. Last time he was here was when Korn was here.
Yeah.
So that was a long time ago. But, yeah, I think I'd give a haunted house a shot. Have you ever stayed in a haunted house overnight?
No, I've been to a couple haunted houses during the night, but I haven't stayed because I'm too afraid of that stuff. If something goes crazy, I'm going to be the guy running out of the building.
I need to find a super haunted place to stay overnight and give it a whirl. I'm telling
you, we got to do the haunted California trip. We go to the Whaley House in San Diego.
Yeah.
We go back up to sort of middle California where the Winchester Mystery House is.
My girlfriend's been to the Winchester Mystery House. I've never been there.
I'm planning on it for my next trip back home. I'm going to take a road trip up there in the rental car and check it out.
If I recall correct, she thought it was overrated.
Oh,
which
okay.
I would think it would be really cool because it's so strange with all the different rooms and doors to nowhere, stairs to nowhere, all that kind of stuff.
Some lady built it to confuse ghosts.
Yes.
It's just that's crazy.
Yeah, she was the heir to the Winchester fortune and believed that all the people killed by all those guns were haunting her. And so she wanted to confuse them.
Or we go to the Queen Mary as well and go to the third deck where the floor is curved because it's just the bottom of the boat.
Ugh.
And you go to the tiny little cabin where people used to sleep.
See, that sounds very claustrophobic to me and makes me uneasy. Big, spooky, scary houses don't.
And we're right above the ocean.
Yeah, I don't. You know what I think about water?
There's a whale trying to eat us down below.
Yeah. People getting attacked by sharks left and right. And yeah, it's just dark and creepy. You don't know what's under that water. So to be in the hull of a boat right on top of the water,
it's that football fish thing with the dangly light. It's like, come on, that's supposed to be a monster.
What is that? It's a monster.
That's definitely a monster.
That's a monster.
We act like that's a normal animal. I mean, come on. That thing's ridiculous.
Exactly. I ain't going anywhere near water. Get out of here. Thank you again for tuning in to the Victor Wilt Show. This program's a production of River. Why can't I say that?
No,
God.
I have to say Riverbend Media Group.
Riverbend Media Group. This program's a production of God. This program's a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.